No, mostly because I need to do a little bit more reading on the individual modules that we're moving through. But I think the biggest thing is having a positive space for us to connect and talk about our vision for our coaching career, because I just finished listening to a really good IOC webinar all about that. And
Oh, really?
I'll post a link in the chat. It was the thing that I'm pretty sure it's the one that Betsy mentioned on Friday.
The Boyatzis one?
Yes. Have you listened to it?
I had a chance to watch it when it was airing, and yeah, it's really awesome. I got a lot.
Is it the Science of Effective Coaching? Is that the one?
It was about visioning.
Was it? Do you know what it was titled? So this is the one I watched, and it's amazing. But she mentioned something about vision, and so I was trying to find that one as well.
Okay, yeah, I think that's not the one I watched, the one that you just shared. But thanks, that's a great resource. I'm gonna save that and watch it as soon as possible.
Yeah, if you have the link for the one, I was going to go back and watch the MC session where Betsy brought it up because I wanted to see, because it looked like there was one about vision that was only for members, maybe. Was that the one you watched, or was it something else?
I was able to watch it, but it might have been on LinkedIn. So I'll try to dig for it so I can share that with everybody.
Okay.
So
I took a bunch of notes, and I'll probably watch it a second time, honestly.
Yeah.
He talks about getting clients and also honestly getting ourselves into more of that, like the positive emotional attractor state, like positive affect versus the analytical stage. And it was funny because he talked about some specific questions that he said are more prone to leading clients into that either negativity or just forecasting versus possibility and vision. So I thought that was a really interesting and important distinction.
Definitely important to keep in mind when you're coaching. And
yeah, but also it made me think of like, that's sort of what I envision this group being, like something that helps us like step out of some of the day-to-day frustrations of launching a business or trying to apply for jobs or whatever it is, like having a solid community of like positivity and growth and inspiration around all this, because I think otherwise, like I personally felt a lot of disillusionment over the past couple of months and frustration as Adapt wound down, and I am looking for more of that like excitement and uplifting that I found at the beginning of the pre-practicum.
And it sounds like for you, the community aspect of it is a big part.
Absolutely. Like being able to bounce ideas off of, I know I definitely have better ideas in groups when there's like interaction and back and forth.
Yeah, totally. So on that note, I'll post again the link invitation to get into your community space. And that is also for the people who will be watching the recording who were not able to make it today. So if you haven't had a chance to get into the community, please follow that link and get in there. We'll and make it alive. Like this is our space, so I'm excited to see everybody there. Rachel, I will ask the same question to you as I asked to Yvette, and would like to ask you what you would like to get out of the program. You know, when we're all done, what do you walk away with?
So similar to what was going on and what was discussed in this webinar today, he was talking about how he finds that for people in my age bracket, the late 20s, early 30s, that it takes them like 4 to 6 weeks roughly to really articulate a really powerful vision for themselves. And so I see this as like an iterative process where over the course of the different modules and the meetings together, I'm getting more finely detailed and honed in terms of what I want. Because right now everything career-wise seems kind of amorphous and undetermined. And it's fun to do a vision session, but it seems like I want more vision. Like I want
more details
to be building on that, like identifying, delving more into like the purpose and the why, like, and then, you know, if you do, I think for me, if I just do that one initial 30-minute conversation, it's fine, but I want to keep detailing that. Like there's just so much more richness, I think, that comes from having vision. And it's also making me think more about how I work with clients, which I feel like the balance needs to shift more to being vision heavy versus SMART goals.
Right, and again, that's referring to some of Richard Boyatzis' research that is showing that the more you tap into that like dream state, the more people are going to be moved and ready to change, instead of being all about when are you going to do it, how often, and all
totally agree. I love what you are saying.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that, and this is what I have been feeling as well.
Yeah,
I naturally am better at following through with emails and like reaching out to people when I'm like excited about coaching and I'm inspired and I feel like what I'm doing matters, versus having a conversation with somebody who's telling you like, you need to reach out to 5 people this week, you should do these things. I start to shut down more and it gets frustrating.
I see. So connecting with your personal like dream for this career would help you move forward. And something I like to share that I have experienced, because I've been connected to this idea of finding my purpose for years now, and I'm revisioning all the time, like, and as your life changes, you also have circumstances. Like I had a baby about a year ago, so a lot of things shifted for me. So your vision is something that is not set in stone, but something you can constantly craft and refine, and it moves with you through life. But something that I have experienced is that when I'm connected to the sense of purpose and meaning in my life, no matter what is going on around me, I'm happy. I'm confident. I'm content with what I have, and I say that as I've been in touch with my purpose in all kinds of weird circumstances in life. Times where I didn't have a home, times where I was completely broke, times, where I didn't have a job, times where I had a job that was not necessarily my dream job. I was selling ice cream at the farmer's market. So, and no matter what, being in touch with that sense of purpose gave me the drive. And when I was working full-time, I was waking up early to work on the content from Adapt. And it was no problem for me to get up at 5 a.m. and work for 2 hours before I went to my job, because I felt like this was part of what I'm supposed to do in life. And I want to share that with you, because I get the feeling that once you do that work of your why, your purpose, your vision, it gives you so much ease in life. And it's not to say there's, the pressure of finding clients goes away. I guess that will always be there. But I think that it gives you a way to show up in the world that it will attract clients to you. And now that I'm clear, I have some clarity around what I want to do with my coaching practice. And in the past month, I got a job opportunity that is part-time. I've gained 2 new clients. I'm connecting with people through different ways to have conversations. I'm excited to be there and also open spaces for free and not constantly be selling health coaching. I don't want to be doing that. I'm sure you don't feel like salesperson either. And I think that if we manage to harness the power of purpose and vision in this program, you will probably find that people are finding you in the universe instead of you being in a place of craving for clients. That's my sense of it. I may be wrong. And I'm wondering if you guys have any sort of experience that are similar or can relate to that.
Well, the only thing that I can add to what you just said is perhaps what I was telling you at the very beginning. I think that having that clarity really allows us, I may not be that eloquent today, but having that clarity really allow us to see ourselves, to gather our energies and really choose the best strategies for us to be, because we are being consistent with ourselves. And this is why this is so important to me. Rachel, I was telling Gian that I am feeling this ambivalence, and I also sense that ambivalence is not allowing me to really make the best use of my energies and my resources. And in that way, I have to agree with you. I do believe in that we are all energy. And when we are ambivalent about who we are or where we want to be, these signals are read by others, whether in a conscious or an unconscious way. So it's really very important to have clarity about that. So I don't know if that adds to what you just said.
No, I like that you were talking about it in a way of like, you're seeing this as an energy and something that you're radiating or not.
Yeah, or not. Yeah, absolutely. And it is there. I do believe, listen, when we communicate with others, sometimes it's not the words that we use, it's how we present ourselves and what other people read in us in an unconscious way.
Absolutely.
I believe that this is completely real. We are not just dry interactions. There is subtleties that is part of the communication. And sometimes, and so many times, we respond more to those subtleties than what is being said.
Without even being aware that we're picking up on it.
Exactly. And you probably have noticed that in your lives when somebody reacts to you and you are like, what? I didn't say that. Yes, you did. And it's not what we said. It's what we are picking up, those subtleties, you see? And those subtleties in our lives are very important to be aware of, just because in the situation that we are at, it could be an obstacle for us to really be inspired and create the practice that we would like to create. And this is how I am feeling, and this is why I'm here.
Yeah. It's funny because it seems to me like we're talking about magic. I'm kidding, but I do believe that there's magic in visioning. So Rachel, what do you make of all that?
Yeah, I would totally agree with a lot of this, and it's the sense that there is this sort of like X factor or ineffable quality about somebody who's really living in line with their values and their purpose, and how much more likely you are to want to work with somebody who's clearly excited and passionate about what they do and really invested in it, versus somebody who's just sort of like, just sort of wandered into this, like, I don't know what's happening. And that's the quality I think that clients pick up on. So when you talk about your work in a way that's passion driven versus trying to convince somebody about the data of what you're doing, right? So this is, I feel like all I'm doing is just paraphrasing Boyatzis' lecture right now, because I just listened to it and everything's in my head, right? But he talks about the compliance data with doctors. And so you have patients who are essentially, and this is all stuff we went over in our program, obviously, but like, scaring somebody into the potential negative effects of not treating their type 2 diabetes or the heart disease or whatever, versus the flip side, which is like, what's possible in your life when you start to live in a way that's really honoring your health and you're really respecting your wellness in your body. And so I think the same thing is true when it comes to our careers and our coaching, which is like, when we get so focused on some of the more analytical details, it's easy for us to get lost and forget like the possibility of transformation and like the bigger picture of what really makes coaching magical, to be honest. And that's what people pick up on when you're speaking to somebody, I think, versus saying like, giving some promise about weight loss or whatever it is.
Do you guys remember those very first sessions we sat through in our mentor coach sessions and just watching them do, and you're like, what just happened?
Yeah. Like, wait, we can't tell people what to do. What are they paying for?
And being amazed at like the shift in people and what they get out of the conversation, like feeling like the world is open up again, instead of problem. When you focus on problem, it feels like, so
constraining, restraining,
Yeah, and realizing that so much of it is about, it's changing like the emotional state, it's flipping the hormonal cascade for people, right? So the coaching process, you might end a conversation and somebody on the outside might be like, did anything really happen there? Like, you didn't scare the person into losing 20 pounds in the next 5 months. Like, what exactly are you accomplishing? But it's like, what's the mental state, what's the emotional state that's going to lead this person to growth, and how do we facilitate that?
Completely. Yes, I agree. And this has been also a source of conflict for me, because I have realized that we cannot really support anybody until we address that emotional aspect of the person. It's just fundamental.
Absolutely.
We cannot just work, as Rachel said, in just losing 20. Okay, what is your action step for next week? You're going to lose a pound. It is empty unless we really address that emotional aspect of the person, of the client. And so this has brought up to me the questioning of what kind of coach do I want to be? Because I am not sure that is in alignment with what with my belief and values, you know. So this is this is something else that is emerging in this process of finding clients, and in my sessions with the only client that I have at the moment. And so, because we have actually moved toward that emotional aspect more than his health concerns at the moment, but curiously enough, he expressed, this is, to me, is more important. I really want to know who I am before I can do these changes, because I think that if I know who I am, I can do this.
That sounds like you're doing an amazing job, Yvette. And I'm reflecting on my own clients. I'm like, I'm not addressing this enough. So.
I don't know, but then I am wondering, I am doing what I am supposed to do, because I am like deviating from that, focus.
The framework.
Yes, and that has been a conflict for me. And listen, I am going to stay another 8 more minutes, just because I have a new client that I'm going to. Well, I know, it's just, I was telling Gian, it came out of nowhere almost. But, and so I.
Well, you know what, Yvette, we can start wrapping up. This was just an orientation call to get started. What I wanted to do today was make sure that people have the tools to use the program and understand how it's going to work. So if there's any other questions, I think I'll open up a space in our forum for maybe the logistics of the course or the program, and feedback along the way, and for everybody to let me know and let others know what they need and want to see that maybe is not there yet.
Gian, I have a question. I read in your email that you were going to release material after this meeting. Is that right? Okay, so this material, we need to go over this material before our next session on Thursday. Is that right?
Look, Yvette, I don't want to make it a you have to. That's up to you. The material that's something I'm working on to try and help people to do this work. So it's to offer guidance. I strongly encourage that you read it. Maybe you want to let the question sit with you. Maybe you want to journal it. Maybe some of what you'll see in there will be helpful to you. Maybe you will go on your own and find other resources that are similar that speak to you. So this is just like kind of a real
preparation for the work that we are going to do together.
Yes. And in our group sessions, what I would like to address is, what is it that you found out about yourself while you were working on that material, or while you were seeking the answers to the questions?
Okay. And will you send us like an email with the content for the next session? Or this will be it, just the material, and we will just show up for the next session?
Yeah, what I think I will do is weekly. So, so for each module, I will send the material for the week or for the next 2 weeks. Okay, so an email with the material. And then, sorry, what was the rest of your question? And I will probably send some emails throughout the week to like encouragement or a little a few words about what you're working on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are
Go
we
ahead.
meeting at the same time next week, but on Thursday?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Are we meeting next week at the same time, but just on Thursday?
So our group sessions will be on Thursdays. However, for the first module, the group session happens at the end, which is in 3 weeks.
Okay, so we don't have a meeting next week.
No.
Oh,
Okay, got
okay.
it.
No, thank you for clarifying that. Okay, so we'll just be working on our own, and then we will
Yes.
meet in
Our
3 weeks
next
to work
meeting,
together. Mhm.
our next meeting will be on June 3rd.
Okay, June 3rd. And what I was, now that is more clear to me, my question was, will you send us an email prior to that meeting with the content of the meeting?
I can if you want, yeah.
Oh, no, well, just to know, just like a reminder of what we are going to work,
Sure.
like
A reminder is a good idea. Yeah,
so this is the first module, we are going to work on this, all the work that you have done. It's just a reminder.
Absolutely. Yeah, I will do that for sure.
So June 3rd, 1 p.m.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I am posting right now in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if people will be able to grab that when they watch the recording of the conversation, but yeah, there's a PDF there.
Possible. But because I have tried in the past, this is more like a fixed picture of the chat.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So, but I will send an email with the content for the week.
Okay.
And this is around your purpose. How much more time do we have?
You guys have all the time of the world. I only have 3 minutes.
Okay.
Just because I want the thing is, this client, because it's out of town, she said that she would inform me if she could join me through Zoom. So I will have to create a Zoom meeting for her if it's, if she can do it.
I see.
But
so really quickly,
just to make sure that I am, that I am following up with her.
Yeah, so really quickly, I just opened the PDF. I put it in a chat box here. It's also in our community space, okay? So in the community space, there is some space that is called Purpose, and you will find the PDF there. It is attached to the first post that I made on there. Okay? But I will also email people. So there it is. There's a bit of a...
It's beautiful, Jan.
Thanks, Yvette.
It looks nice, and I love the Viktor Frankl quote that you included.
Yes,
I thought that was really perfect.
Viktor Frankl's quote, yeah. He's a huge source of inspiration for me. So,
Jan, you have done so much work.
Yeah, this is
a little bit.
Yes, no, it's a lot of work. It's
yeah, so there's a little bit of a story, and then a few points to help you understand purpose and start connecting with what might be yours.
Oh, I love it. I love the content.
Yeah, I love the childhood question. I was answering these last night.
Did that give you some
fun to reflect?
Some insights?
Yeah.
I mean, it's as much about the actual content that you end up writing as just the process of shifting your brain into that state where you're relaxed, you're dreaming, you're thinking about something else, and you're getting out of the intense negative narcissism or whatever.
Getting out of our heads. That's what you were saying.
Out of your head.
Yeah. So, no, I love it. I'm looking forward to reading that material. Yeah.
Great. Thanks,
really
Yvette.
well done, Gian.
Thank you. I'm so honored and happy to have you here, guys. And I can't wait for the other people to join us next time.
Awesome.
I think that will be it for today. And if you have any question, if anything that is not clear, please reach out to me. I'm here.
Of course. I will email you without hesitation.
And let me know what you want to see more of. Okay?
Okay.
So no, it was
well done, Gian. Julian Redwood would be very proud.
Yes, I agree. And yes, thank you so much. I am very excited about this, and I'm really and truly looking forward to this work together.
So am I.
Thanks, Yvette. It was such a delight to get to see you today.
Yes, me too. I'm excited. Thank you.
This is going to be fun. So thanks so much for making it today, and see you very soon.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sounds great.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Yvette.
Have a
Bye.
lovely weekend. Bye.
You too.